support with him?
Maybe he doesn't want to do things the conventional way, the traditional way. He wants to hold the press briefing alone. But of course, I agree with you that I think lately, or not even lately, I don't think there's any other day that Prefect Ayali has held a press briefing and there are people that are offering solidarity to him or support to him. But however, I think he says that he speaks in his capacity as party president of the EEP, but also that he's speaking on behalf of the people, because he says that he's a lawyer of the court of public opinion. And in as much as many would say that they hate Prefect Ayali, there are people that love him, all right? There are people that are dreaming every day that the fight that he has against HH should go his way. The fight that he has against HH should eventually land HH in prison. And there are people that are supporting him. Obviously, for him to hold the press briefing, you need money for that. All right? and obviously, there are people that support him in terms of finances. All right? Whether it's party or whichever external forces that support him, but obviously, there are people that support him in whatever he does. And it shows us that there are people behind whatever he does, especially in the court, to have HH arrested.
Munzi, as we conclude on this one, when political parties are holding conventions, recently we saw the NDC having their own, and it is constitutional now. Before you participate in an election, as a political party, you need to go for a convention. This is not top of agenda to EEP and the president. They're not talking about this. What do you think is their priority at the moment?
According to him, their priority is to ensure that only upright people are on the ballot paper, according to EPP president.
And at the moment, it's only HH who is not upright.
That is his topmost priority. If you talk about the convention, we've seen political parties that have gone for conventions, and a lot of positions have gone unopposed. And so if all his positions in his party, he knows that they will go unopposed, what's the point?
So there's no point of going for
There's no point, yes, because all the positions are still going to go unopposed.
The Zambia
which we've seen even in parties that did have.
The Zambia Police Deputy Inspector General Operations Charity Katanga has stressed that ensuring peace before, during and after the general elections is on the police's top agenda. Ms. Katanga explains that the police top command is working tirelessly in ensuring that peace prevails. She reveals that the police have an election committee which is working around the clock to ensure that the goal of achieving peace is realized. The DIG was speaking in Lusaka on Tuesday when she officiated the Trainer of Trainers workshop on community policing. Andrew, well, top of the agenda.
Yeah, I think this is timely by the police. I think we've heard this year and largely part of last year, members of the general public and civil society organizations calling on the police to be professional in how they conduct themselves. I'm happy that the DIG, has announced that there is a train of trainees to ensuring that the police act professionally ahead of the elections. We're getting into a time that is very critical. All right, moods will be hypened up. People will be uncontrollable, especially when they feel that you've stepped on them. And the people that are mandated to protect life, the police, ought to ensure that they conduct themselves in a professional manner. And if we're going to hear from the police that workshops have begun to ensure that there's professionalism in the police, I think it sparks happiness in us, the media. It sparks happiness in the members of the general public, and I think this is the right way to go. If a lot of resources can be pumped into this undertaking, for this year's election, and so for me, I think this call is timely from the police to ensure that they train the police officers, and I think this is what we've been calling for. Chifokolo, we've lamented here that the police ought to be professional, especially now that we're headed towards the election, and the police command is responding to the call that has been made from members of the general public. And so this is timely, and this is the correct thing.
I don't know, maybe we want to speak one language.
I want to just seek clarity, especially when you say this is timely, in that the inspector. Maybe let's help each other understand what exactly community policing is. And if this is the case, when are some of the cases going to be taken care of? Because as far as I know, when we talk about, okay, let me give you guys the chance. What exactly is community policing? And this is going somewhere. What is community policing? Because this is what the workshop is about. This is what they'll be trained in. And this particular workshop is to help the realization of peace. Before, during, and after the elections.
So for me, community policing is how the police ought to conduct themselves or to respond to issues or to situations that are happening in communities. We're in an election year, and this has got a bias towards elections. How they should control crowds, how they should control rallies, how they should respond to complaints that community members are bringing to the police. Say, here cadres have assembled. No, we want to assemble the cadres. And
I am so glad. I am so glad that that has been made clear. I hope we had someone from Home Affairs to also just come and hit on that same point, Chufokolo, because I'm going to want this now.
I'm saying that in context with what Chifokolo is saying, that we don't need to have this workshop.
We honestly do.
We honestly do, Chief. We honestly do need this workshop, because I think we've lamented as a media, we've lamented as members of the general public that the police have been very unprofessional on how they are conducting their business. We've complained, all right? Look at the shooting of Nsamansama. That was as a result of professional misconduct by the police. Look at the number of people that have complained that if we maybe they don't know what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to protect life. They're supposed to protect property.
You're talking about you after landing yourself in trouble.
In trouble. And I'm speaking about the professionalism that they've conducted themselves in. The few times that I've landed myself in trouble and I've been interrogated by the police and I'm being told to come to the police, I strongly can testify that I've been professional. All right? I'm speaking from my point
I wanted to remind you the time that you went live at Unza when you went to cover and you were busy running, panting. You said they are not being professional. And I wanted to remind you that one.
Hello, and you said, Fokolo, the good thing is we have that footage.
I've told you that you need to be a very good student of history. I've had arguments with you.
I've not responded yet. I've not responded.
No, you don't have to respond.
Yes, I have had a number of interactions with the police.
Yes.
So that one was the exception.
I've had a number of interactions. And I don't remove myself from the equation that the police have sometimes acted unprofessionally. And I've cited examples. All right, the example of Nsamansama. Nsamansama shouldn't have died, all right?
No, Andrew, don't have to go back the issue of Nsamansama. You said the times that you've had interactions
with the police.
We've brought it home.
Yes.
I do remember, yes. I remember when I went to cover a live, riot at the University of Zambia where the students were protesting because management had forced them to pay registration fees before they could sit for the exams.
And their conduct of the police then was very professional.
The conduct of the police was to respond. Okay, I went there. Remember that I was not going there to participate in the riot.
No.
You were covering.
I went there as a journalist to cover what was unfolding at the University of Zambia.
And the conduct of the police then was very professional.
The conduct of the police was professional, and let me say why, all right? Compared to how they've been conducting themselves. Remember when Vespers died? You remember what exactly happened. The past riot that the University of Zambia had, did we have any reports of any person dying? No, we didn't have any report.
But
right?
we did have reports of...
Why? Because the recommendations that the Human Rights Commission made was that every time you get into a provocation with the students, don't advance and get into the university premises. All right? What you can do to ensure that you disperse the crowd is to fire tear gas so that the crowd is dispersed. And that is what they did. I was a victim of breathing in tear gas. I was affected by the tear gas. And as I was reporting, I was affected by the tear gas. The intention of the police then was not to tear gas me, but was to disperse the crowd. And I happened to be part of that crowd to defend the police in a few instances that I have interacted with them
Will be
personally.
here, will come, will be here.
Personally, I don't want to be malicious, but personally, I feel...
No, it's
I feel,
very good for you not to be malicious, because we love this country.
Of course, of course. And I feel the police have got the ability.
They know what they're supposed to do.
They know what they're supposed to do.
They just hardly ever do it. That is my take. They can be professional. They know how to be professional. They really do.
I think if
we do have very professional officers.
If a finger is pointed at them that no one should interfere with your operations, I feel they could get better.
Now that we've talked about the police knowing what they are supposed to do, them being professional and them continuing to be professional, let's talk about politicians. Them knowing what politics is and them also doing what is right. Now, the August 12th general elections battle seems to be between the country's two political giants, the United Party for National Development, UPND, and the ruling Patriotic Front. As of Tuesday, and the PF on Tuesday vowed to dismantle the UPND before the August general elections due to developments scored by PF. So they are going to use the development to dismantle the opposition. PF Lusaka Province Chairman Kennedy Kamba was speaking when his party officially received UPND Nalikwanda MP Geoffrey Lungwangwa and Solwezi West MP Teddy Kasonso as PF members. More in this report.
The officials have continued changing camp, with some from the main opposition party United Party for National Development UPND defecting to the Patriotic Front and vice versa. The PF has received two UPND members of parliament, Geoffrey Lungwangwa, Nalikwanda MP, and Teddy Kasonso, Solwezi West MP, who have defected to the ruling party. In welcoming them, the PF have vowed to dismantle the opposition UPND before the August general elections, alleging that more officials will continue defecting due to the development the ruling party has brought to the country. PF Lusaka Province Chairman Kennedy Kamba was speaking during the defection. Mr. Kasonso, who was being received, has stated that defecting was not an easy choice, but that he is of the opinion that only the ruling party is capable of bringing development at the moment.
All Zambians want government to deliver development to them same day. But that is not possible. It has to be in a sequence. Our people must be patient. When you see that your colleagues have got an infrastructure today, just wait, it will come. So for the people of Northwestern Province, my wait for them is to be patient.
Geoffrey Lungwangwa states that his reason to defect is as a result of alleged disunity in his former party. Other UPND officials who have defected include Wampa Ward Council Chairman Victor Maliti and Sokontwe Ward Councillor Davis Sumaili, among others.
There are tarmacs all over, and many other roads in this country. You have done it. Look at the Farm Input Support Program. Look at the Social Cash Transfer Program. Look at the Communication Towers Program. The country is now networked. Almost everywhere you can go, you can see communication towers. I was Minister of Transport and Communication. And I know where I left the communication towers in this country, where we left the fiber optic connectivity in the country, where we left the internet, e-government, and the tremendous development the Patriotic Front has done.
We, at Home Affairs, which is a ministry to preserve the peace and security of this country, we work without fear or favor. It's not a ministry for the faint-hearted. So those who are issuing veiled threats, the law is provided for such. And if we investigate and we find that those veiled threats are coming from an individual, be it a chief or anyone, they shall be dealt with.
Political defections have heightened as only 3 months remain before the general elections. Zipporah Mushala, Muvi TV News, Lusaka.
Andrew, 2 members of parliament, Geoffrey or Professor and Teddy Kasonso, officially they have jumped from the red family to the green family. And they are talking about development. Teddy Kasonso says the people of Northwestern, what I can urge them is to be patient. But not long ago in Parliament, he was asking this very government, the very family has joined to say, why are you neglecting Northwestern when we've got big minds? And today he's saying the people of Northwestern should exercise patience.
Well, I think so.
I kumbata no kumbata.
I
think I declare interest.
Munzia, not long ago, Teddy Kasonso was asking the family has joined to say, why have you continued to neglect Northwestern Province when we've got these mines? You are taking development elsewhere. But now he's calling on the people of Northwestern to be patient.
I think I would love to say very little here. And number one is, honestly, Chifokolo, it is you that we should be hearing from, considering your new title of getting rid of recycled
unless you want to join my movement.
Getting rid of recycled politicians in the interest of the youth. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Yes.
Unless you are telling me that you want to be a part of that pressure group.
I am a very silent member of your pressure group.
Thank you. Thank you.
When it comes to getting rid of recycled politicians, I honestly am. Well, looking at the other title of patriotic husbands, no. but getting rid of recycled politicians in the interest of the youth, this is exactly what we are talking about.
And even when I saw earlier, I think this just tells us that there are no morals in politics. These are the same people that insulted the Patriotic Front. These are the people that spoke ill about the Patriotic Front. But today, they are the people that are telling us that Edgar Chagwa is the only man that is able to liberate this country. When Edgar Chagwa has been president, all this this country hasn't been liberated. And so, politicians will always be politicians. All right.
And you
I
know,
think
Andrew,
this is just best description of a dirty politician. Today, they wear this jacket and say Chifokolo is evil.
Yes.
Tomorrow, they wear a brown jacket and say Chifokolo.
That is why, honestly, Andrew, I really do believe it's not even about saying, well, I don't believe in your ideas anymore, I'm going to move to the next camp because they seemingly have the best ideas. And that is so evident looking at the examples that he gave.
Yeah.
He spoke of the social cash transfer, that particular department has so many scandals. He spoke of roads. Yes, he spoke of roads. Everyone is saying, look, the road from, I received phone calls during viewers' opinion, and everyone is saying people should tell the truth. The road from Shmakende, what is it called?
Shikatende.
No. Well, maybe that to Nalikwanda, the road is very bad. So what is it that he's talking about when he says this administration has brought in development? And you see, if really it's about believing in the ideas, he would have given other examples that people can actually relate to and say, yes, this administration has done for us.
But maybe
rather than pick on
but I think the president has
departments
been
that have so many scandals
the president
already.
has been very magnanimous enough to say that vote for an MP from the ruling party if you want development to go to the area. And probably the reason why development hasn't been to these areas that we're speaking about.
It's because these particular people have been in the opposition.
We are not. With Professor Lungwangwa.
I'm using the words of the president.
Yes. Now, with Professor Lungwangwa, he's not talking about areas lagging behind in terms of development. He says roads are everywhere.
The country
that means even in Nalikwanda, there are tarmacs. And Munza is telling you that she has received calls at viewers' opinion. People telling her that in Western Province and Nalikwanda, There are no tarmacs. So,
no, not that there are no tarmacs. There are no roads, period. Even gravel.
there are no roads. So when you look at the statement from Professor saying roads are everywhere, communication towers are everywhere, wakamba nikuti
everywhere
nikuti
Wakamba ku Lusaka.
ano
and yet he's been adopted in Nalikwanda.
Wakamba ni ku Lusaka. Wakamba because if you're going to speak about roads, the roads we see are in Lusaka, Mem and the Copper Belt.
So
and a few maybe in Southern Province. Chief.
So he's not. So his constituency is not among the areas he's talking about.
I don't think his constituency can be used as a reference point because there are no roads there. And he's not been truthful. He's been a professor of lies. If you think that. All right.
I think that's why Chifokolo.
But here's the
This
thing.
getting rid of recycled politicians needs to go for a convention because you're not putting enough, you're not applying enough pressure for God.
Well, I think kudos to Geoffrey Lungwangwa because I think he's been in government for a long time.
Yes.
All right. He's been he's been a member of parliament from 2006.
Yes.
All right. He was an MMD 2006.
Yes. And he was a minister of
So
communication.
kudos per duration. Kudos per duration.
Kudos per
Now,
duration.
kudos pabufi.
Kudos per movie and kudos per time saved. We were very clear.
For him, he knows that. Look, for him, he knows that. For me, it doesn't matter which political party I'm on. All right. For me, if my job is secured, then I'm done. But UPND, we knew that Lungwangwa can't be adopted under the UPND ticket because of the colors he had been shown in Parliament regarding some of the bills that the PF were trying to pass, and he was in support of them when in fact he was a UPND member of Parliament. And I think from onset, we knew that this guy won't be adopted. All right, and I think he did a very good mathematics. He knew. He's a professor. He knows that, okay, he's very calculative. That Patawansha adopted, and he went to the PF, and it's been quick. He's been adopted. And I think for me, we're seeing another victory in Narikwanda constituency because
for Lungwangwa.
Trust me, he's been MP from 2006. How many years is that, Chief?
That is it, 21.
He's been member of parliament in 2006, and it's let's look at the level of development which was in Narikwanda in 2006 and the level of development which is in Narikwanda now.
We are talking.
And the question you should ask yourself is, what have the people of Narikwanda been premising their vote on to vote for Geoffrey Lungwangwa? It is a name, not development.
Even this time,
I think
you are
it's
still
the
seeing
wind
the same.
of change. I think it's the wind of change, and here is why,
Andrew,
because
even
when
this
he started,
time around,
because the first time he was voted in that particular constituency, he was not in UPND.
He was an MMD.
Exactly. Yes. So people have been voting based on expecting a wind of change. They're okay, if you saw from MMD, but come UPND, maybe by UPND will help
the
us.
People of Narikwanda and myself
UPND,
have known him from the time that I was in primary school. We used to learn about that gentleman.
And you are hopeful. You're saying you see
and the
victory
people of
coming. You are
Narikwanda,
hopeful.
and the people of Narikwanda have been in about Geoffrey Lungwangwa, professor, from the time that they were born. And that is the only MP they've known from the time they were born. And there's no any other MP that they know except him. I don't know how I don't know this
Unless
time around
me
how
you
much
don't
the
know.
party, the influence of the party will have on him winning the election. But to be honest with you, I see Professor Geoffrey Lungwangwa winning the Narikwanda seat, and you come here and tell me.
No, I think
Thank you so much.
If I was from that particular constituency, I would take that as an insult, Andrew, honestly, because like any Ndande, and it's because Andrew, then you are saying they just vote for the person, they don't know what this person is supposed to do for them. If they know what this person, if they know what this person is supposed to do for them, then they cannot continue to vote for the same person.
He started
Then
by
I will
asking
take
a
that
question. He
as
started by asking the question. Say before Professor was voted as member of parliament in 2006, what was the development? What was the development outlook in Narikwanda?
That's why I'm saying
what is the
wind of
development
change.
outlook? So now, meanwhile, the UPND has charged that candidates the PF has adopted in Western Province, because Narikwanda is in Western Province, with the view of securing victory in the August 12th general elections, is a failed project. On Monday, the ruling party announced adopted candidates in Western Province who included UPND's own Nalikwanda lawmaker, Geoffrey Lungwangwa, and former Mwandi lawmaker, Michael Kayingu's daughter, Iris. Western Province chairperson, Kaperwamba Ngweta, has told Muvi TV News that it does not matter whom the ruling PF adopts, as winning in Western Province in the forthcoming elections is impossible. So let's listen to what Kaperwamba Ngweta, Honorable, and also UPND Western Province chairperson had to say.
The point is, over the last 10 years, they have neglected the region. And because they have neglected the region, it doesn't matter whom they put forward. The whole point is that it couldn't have been any better. Over the last 10 years, we have had some of the probably the most senior people from the Western Province in the PF. But what legacy are they leaving for the province? So that should tell you, in the context of whoever had been picked, that it's really not the individuals as such, but the system itself. If the system is dysfunctional, it cannot deliver anything.
We've seen that one of your MP for Nalikwanda, Geoffrey Lungwangwa, has been adopted as among those. Did you expect this after?
Well, whether we expected it or not, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The point is, even if it's been adopted by the PF, what can he do as an individual?
So, Andrew, you are saying a victory.
I'm saying a victory, and for me, I disagree with
Kaperwamba Ngweta.
If you look at 2006, when Geoffrey Lungwangwa became Member of Parliament, and he was adopted by the MMD. Do you know why they've consistently been adopting him as to contest in Nalikwanda? And that is a question that you need to ask yourself, Munzia. Why have political parties been consistent in adopting Honorable Professor Geoffrey Lungwangwa? I think that would answer your question. And I think it is on that premise that I'm standing on, that Professor Geoffrey Lungwangwa has been a key figure in Nalikwanda. He's been a household name in Nalikwanda. Irregardless of the political party he decides to stand on, because of how he's built his brand, how he's built himself as a member of parliament in that particular constituency, that has
Andrew, I know you will continue, but
if you look at, but also let's get to look at the margin difference in terms of the votes that he gets to get. All right, this is not a man that you would run with and you would lose by a small margin. A lot of, if you look at the record that he had from 2006 to 2016, the margin that he's been leaving his contenders on is very huge.
Don't you think it is also the party and the issue that Munzia brought in of people hoping that there will be a wind of change? And that is why he has been winning. And also bearing in mind that in 2011 or in 2016, there are some UPND guys that were working with the PF and were even deputy ministers and stayed in office. Deputy ministers, they even stayed in office. I know one, Poniso Njeulu, who has been adopted by the PF. I know of Grayford Monde, PF. I know of Ritual Siamunene. I know of Dawson Kafwaya. And when elections were called, including Stephen Masumba, none of these young people bounced back in parliament.
I don't think it is because of a wind of change. Like I said, I'll be very consistent with my statement, Chief. I think...
So this, according to you, this man is just strong in Nalikwanda?
This man is strong in Nalikwanda. There are individuals who are strong when they contest, all right? And there are individuals who rely on a political party.
And there are individuals who even told us that, you know, elections are a candidate can be strong in an area and win regardless of the party they stand. That is Stephen Masumba, who even told us that I'm strong in Mfumbwe. So I can stand on a UPN, on an MMD ticket, win, defect, stand on a PF ticket, win, and I can stand on any ticket and still win. But in 2016, Alisa Sangat Navate. 0764250055 is the number. You can call now. The phone line has been opened. Let's hear your contribution, what your thoughts are on the topics of discussion that we have so far. Drums sounded as Chief Mugoni's Chief Mugoni demands for the immediate release of his wife. PF vowed to dismantle UPND before the August general elections. UPND unmoved by defections. Which one? About the drums?
No, dismantle.
Dismantling.
Yes, we did. That's the story you found us discussing.
To our viewers, to the people that are calling, I'm only giving you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to make your point, and I'll be checking. Nkumbwa, you have your 2 minutes.
Thank you. Greetings to my sister there, my beloved one.
Afternoon, Kumbwa.
Thank you. One, sir.
Mr. Nkumbwa.
Be careful with the people of Western Province. Go to Wampa, Consuenza, from 1991 to Stephen Manjata. And he thought he could be doing the same tricks as been doing to the people of Wampa. In 2006, they disappointed him. They voted for the matter. The matter also kept on changing parties from UPND, contested on MMD, thinking because that was the ruling party then. The ruling party lost PF. And again in 2016, she changed to PF, okay? Because she has been wanting to work with the ruling party. And she lost, okay? So I think perhaps the people of Rwanda, Mr. Lungwamba has paid a ransom for them. Okay? They are his people in his cocoon. Perhaps. But what I know, the people of Western Province can disappoint anyone when he doesn't even expect. And even the BRI should be disappointed. Because, you know, those are the most educated people in this country, who have been most educated. But what they have done is somehow to their own people, to their own land, they have betrayed their own region, their own country, especially Mr. Ngwangwa. Why did you see? The reason why he has not gone to apply for protection, the people of Rwanda have been rejecting him. Okay, since he started being controversial. No wonder I have found, no wonder even the defection, like condition don't adopt. If you adopt him, then I'll defect. So even the PF, can you make such a person? Because he should have been defected first before adopting him. But how can they first adopt him, then he defect? So like it was conditional.
Thank you, Nkumbwa.
The people of Rwanda, they will do their homework. And the party should go there in time. So that such people should not be tolerated. After all, should not be retired. 15 years in parliament.
Thank you so much, Nkumbwa. Thank you.
Too much.
Thank you.
Not only Ngwangwa, any other person who has been there, who is not, who doesn't trust himself, should not be given any chance to continue representing Zambia. Just because wants to fit his tummy. We are not his children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nkumbwa. That is Nkumbwa from Western Province, and you know, giving an example of people that have been disappointed in Western Province, those that were that had the spirit of jumpy, and he is hoping that this time around, even the people of Nalikwanda will do the same. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Is this Wiseman?
Yes.
How is Kabwe? Please, you have your 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Andrew.
Sir Wiseman, good. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I think I've got I want to keep out one segment which my comrade Andrew said, where I was following the previous segment where he said that you need to vote for to seek development. I think that was a very big lie coming from the other state. On the way in Kabwe, we have given everything to see more photo member of parliament, the mayor, CF, all the 7 councillors, CF, the TF, CF, the DC, CF, everything is CF in Kabwe. But to come to Kabwe, the same side, no anything wrong. So I think for me, that's a matter of us now, people understanding the importance why we vote and why we should vote. Then I'm going to know that if you need to stand, can shift from this political party to this political party. Me, I know why I'm casting that vote. But as long as we are voting on the name of so-called big issues like Professor Lungwamba
Thank you so much, Wiseman. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I've, mentioned that 2 minutes is given to whoever is going to call. So you make your contribution within 2 minutes. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bokolo.
Mr. Kwalombota, you have your 2 minutes now.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Yes, to start with, thank you very much. To start with, from my own observation, and appear already first to reduce the volume of activity. Yes, and appear is entirely up to an individual, because it is a political party. So it's entirely up to an individual. You can be from the opposition or from the ruling. Because I've seen people, MPs from the ruling party, where there is no development. A clear example, I think in the morning I mentioned, in Chipangari constituency, they are starring, they are currently starring the candidate now, who happens to be provincial chairman, PM, has to work on the roads there, cedar roads. He has to buy beds, mattresses, and bedsheets, blankets for a government hospital. So it's not that. So, and now to come to Kasonso, saying people of Northwest should be patient. Indeed, that's what political technicals say, do. Because he was criticizing the government, the current ruling party, for not taking development to Northwest. Now you say, they should be patient. For how long? 2015, the clearing of roads was launched. But what was happening was that they would launch in the morning, in the night machinery go to from Soleil to Kapesa. They launch in the morning, night to Mufungu, up to Chavuma. Up now, not even one district has done a road which is Rungamba is boasting about. They are not there. Almost over. You can only make it on the line of where we see roads being done, like we have seen it in Gola and so on and so forth. So they should not cheat people those. They supported the monster Bioten against what the Zambians wanted. Because that was a monster. So it ran bills clothes in one bill. What were they up to?
Thank you so much, Mr. Kolombota.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. 0764250055 is the number, and 2 minutes is given to you when you call. Good afternoon. 2 minutes is given to you when you call 0764250055 in order for you to be part of this discussion on the lunchtime show on Muvi television. Mr. KY, your 2 minutes, you have it. Good afternoon, thank you. Your 2 minutes starts now.
I just want to congratulate the President of Malawi for showing the African that we have leaders like him. He has not allowed anyone in the name of corruption, zero tolerance to corruption. So coming to our country now, the leader who is corrupt is the hero in our country. So that has shown the difference between us and the Malawian government. Thank you very much,
Thank you so much, Mr. KY. 0764250055 is the number. And also talking about the professor and Teddy Kasonso, another man or another honorable who supported Buten, we are told he has been left out, and the information I received in the morning is that he wants to stand as an independent member. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Remember, when you call us, you reduce the volume on your TV set so that we can give you a chance to air your views or add your voice to the topics of discussion. 0764250055. Reduce the volume on your TV set, and you'll be given 2 minutes in order for you to make your contribution, or in order for you to talk about the stories of discussion that we have. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
Mr. Chirwa, you have your 2 minutes. Please go ahead.
Okay. You see, when you choose somebody control the character of a person. We should know the behaviors of these people first before voting them into power. Yes. I think so. It's because some people are fond of not dressing properly. They're fond of insulting people. But when it comes to politics, we find that they speak very good language. It's not fair. And these other politicians will be changing parties as if they're changing football teams. It's not fair. So what I urge the people of Zambia is to follow first the character of a person. How has he been in power? What have we done? What has he or she done? So I think myself, I think you have to know that so that from the left one that you cannot buy people. It's not fair for him to win again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chirwa. That is Mr. Chirwa within Lusaka. That is a city within a city, Matero. That is where Mr. Chirwa was calling from. Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chokoro.
Mr. Chimbala, how are you?
I'm very fine, my brother.
Very fine. Please, you have your 2 minutes.
Yes, Mr. Nwanza. Good afternoon, the lady there.
Good afternoon, thank you.
No, just a concern to these people are defecting from the UPND going to the TF. Why are they not going to other parties like any party? What is so special in TF?
I'm sure Mr. Mwans and Munza will respond to that.
They'll respond to that, yeah?
They will respond to that. What is so special about PF? They will respond, no problem.
Yes, because people will seem like TF is not going anywhere. But I'm just surprised why people get affected to TF are they being voted or what? That is my question. I have to know.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chimbala. Let me pick 2 more calls, and then please keep that question from Mr. Chimbala. He's asking, why is it that these people that are defecting from the UPND are joining the PF, not other political parties? What is there? Hello? Hello? This is Muvi TV. What is your name and where are you calling us from? You are very faint, sir. Kindly speak up and go ahead. Thank you so much. So he's saying they're not going to allow these people that are jumping, and this year it will be he calls them political prostitute, and he says this time around they are not going to be allowed. I don't know who is not going to allow them. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Mkwa fumia niko volume ku TV mayo. Fumia niko volume na mfumia yako. Ati ni bani yawe? Wana kuluwendi kulishanuka bwe. Lande nipo tumfwe wana kuluwendi. Vesa abo. Vesa mayo, vesa. Oh. Twatotera mayo. Oh. Twatotera kale.
Thank you.
Twatotera bana kulu. Shisuma mkwai. Twatotera bana kulu. That is bana kulu wendi from Kabwe Central Province, urging Munzia kuleni bwangu tamwimini na kumbali mwimini na pakati kwa bati mchepshaniko ififya buule file chitika muma politics. Munzia, let me start with you. Mr. Chimbala wants to know, why is it that people are defecting from the UPND joining the PF when there are other political parties?
I think because, like you said, Chufokolo, it's the only time that we've seen politicians stick to their word. They are defecting to join the PF because this is what they were promised. They were promised a seat. They were promised adoption. And unlike the rest of the people that vote for them and then Washala Fevere Damba, he voted Yariakale, this time they did keep their words. They said to Kamichta adopt, and that's what has happened for supporting Bill 10.
Andrew, Teddy Kasonso is not standing, but he says he's going to campaign for His Excellency President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So, Mr. Chimbala is still asking why. Because this man, you can't say he's going to be adopted under the PF ticket. He's not standing, but he just wants to offer himself. And
yeah, I think the question by Mr. Chimbala was very clear. What is so special about the Patriotic Front?
Yes.
I think people move to things that are attractive. And I don't think anyone would move to something that is less attractive. And for now, the Patriotic Front are looking attractive to form government, and that's the reason why people that have been members of parliament from the opposition for a long time, members who are found in fathers of some political parties like Charles Kakoma, you know, you wouldn't have expected Charles Kakoma to move to the Patriotic Front. They've been with the PF from the time Anderson Mazoka was alive.
They have been with the UPND.
UPND rather. And these are people that say, I don't think there's anywhere that project is going. And so it tells volumes about their move. And you know, the simple answer to Mr. Chimbala is that I think Patriotic Front to the opposition, those who are defecting to PF, is seemingly looking attractive and seemingly looking like it's a team that is going to form government.
No. I know that you continue, but being attractive in terms of what? Have they delivered on the promises they made, or it seems attractive to them that they'll get something?
Naturally,
and we need to be very specific.
Naturally, a human being is a political animal. Naturally, he's a political animal. He wants things for himself, things that benefit him. All right, okay. And clearly, I think I don't think the people of Nalikwanda will benefit from Geoffrey Lungwanga moving to the Patriotic Front. But
they'll vote for him.
But Mr. Lungwanga will benefit, and so it is.
And they'll vote for him, but they won't benefit. Because you saw a victory.
Of course.
So people of Nalikwanda will vote for him, but in the end, in the next 5 years, they won't benefit.
I wouldn't predict. I'm not a prophet to predict that. But I think the reason why these people keep moving from this political party to the other is because of what they've been offered in terms of, is it adoption, is it financial resources, or the deals that they've cracked with the Patriotic Front. So that is a simple answer. Mr. Chira says he labels these as political prostitutes. I can't agree more. A prostitute is defined as someone that is in a tendency of not sticking to one partner.
And you are also.
All right, sticking to what partner. So if someone is going to jump from Mr. Chulu to Chief Okolo to Andrew Mwansa, then
Mavutopiri,
then to Sedless Jealous in Conjera, then that girl.
Sedless who?
Jealous in Conjera. Then that girl is a prostitute. So I can't agree more, because if you're going to jump from MMD, because Geoffrey Lungwanga was in the MMD,
yes.
Jump to UPND, now he's in the PF. Where's the consistency in terms of principles in that man?
Maybe the next 5 years.
Maybe DP in the next 5 years. Yes, so Chira also, I think, brings out, Kwalombota, brings out something very profound. Wiseman brings up something very profound. I think what our electorates lack is civic education. Lungwanga has been MP from 2006. In 2006, when he went to campaign in Nalikwanda, there's things that he promised the people of Nalikwanda that he's going to deliver. Are you telling me that maybe he's delivered? That is the only thing that would tell us that Munzia, Balungwanga stood in his house to say, in 2006, never vote as MP. And Gamam vote will do A, B, C, and D. After 2006, it was 2011 elections came. They voted him again. I don't know what they were using as a benchmark. I don't know what they were using as a benchmark to vote him in power. Was it because he delivered? Was it because they've known him as a chief in Narikwanda? Was it because, I don't know. 2016 again, he went back to the people of Narikwanda to vote for me.
Under a new party.
Under a new party, and I would deliver A, B, C, and D. I don't know which benchmark they are using to vote him again back in office. Is it because he had delivered when he stood in 2011 or not? And so that would tell us what has been making the people of Narikwanda to vote for Lungwangwa from 2006 to 2016.
And if you heard him yesterday, he didn't talk about him delivering. He talked about the party that you've delivered.
They've delivered.
I was in government. I was a minister. There were no towers, but today tarmacs are everywhere. And so you've delivered. Towers. He's not talking about him delivering in Narikwanda, but he was talking about PF. You've delivered everywhere.
The Patriotic Front has delivered. We can't disagree with him because I think he knows what he's talking about. What have they delivered? Have they delivered to him or the people of Narikwanda? And so he knows what he's talking about.
And they've delivered.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He says there are tarmacs everywhere, roads are everywhere.
He's a professor.
You've told us a professor of lies.
I haven't gone much in. I've just reached as a simple degree.
You've told us that he's a professor in lies.
I just got a simple degree.
It's
above my education level. And so KY says
he's talking about the
Malawi.
president.
He's still talking about Malawi.
And that is a story that I want us to talk about.
Of course, I think President Chakwera has shown exemplary leadership. I think he hasn't tolerated the fight against corruption. I do know for a fact that when he came into office, there were a lot of I've been following Malawian news. There's a lot of complaining from the people that he's been one that talks but does little. But now I think his first action that I think has received a lot of applause is the firing of the minister, who plundered COVID-19 resources. And I think he's shown a path that African leaders should move by. It is not only here in Zambia that we're saying we wish that our leader was like that. Even in South Africa, yes. I shared something on my Facebook page that South Africa right now, that is what is trending. People are saying we wish Ramaphosa can do what Chakwera has done. In Zimbabwe, people are saying we wish our president Mnangagwa can do what President Chakwera has done. And so it is not only here in Zambia.
Are you saying in Zambia they are also saying we wish His Excellency Commander-in-Chief can do what Chakwera has done?
He's done that. Yeah, but not as a president. When I started Sochabe, he sacked minister responsible for health.
But the
coincidence that the wrong Minister of Health in our firing, I think, breeds suspicion that the reason why we're now firing and because we've not I think that is what it tells us. I think that is simple logic.
Not agreeing.
No, that is simple logic. That is simple logic. Kwashtika into ministry. I mean, so firing. Logic says that.
No, maybe they're not firing. But logically, but ukwina ngo bakamba kama chenda kupishirani munichi. But kunofuna kuisinga logic.
So I think
guys,
it is clear. Wiseman, you spoke about something very important. Wiseman,
yes. He doesn't agree with you.
Yes, no, he doesn't agree. He doesn't agree with the president, not with me.
With what you said.
And I was quoting the president.
Yes,
you are saying that.
Do you agree with what the president said, first of all?
I've got a lot of respect for the president.
You also have respect for Diane, remember?
I've got a lot of respect for everyone.
I've got
a lot of respect for His Excellency.
Even me, you say you've got great respect for me.
I've got a lot of respect for everyone.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
Though I don't, when I've said I have respect for you, but I don't agree with what you've said.
Okay.
Then it differentiates. Me having respect for you.
But my question was,
do you agree with the president?
You said
I have respect.
I've respect for the president, but I don't agree. Why? Because there's evidence to that effect. Wiseman called that. Look, here in Kabwe, our DC is from the Patriotic Front. Our mayor is from the Patriotic Front. Most of our councillors are from the Patriotic Front. And our member of parliament is from the Patriotic Front. But development, there is no. Simple. All right? But now here is the president who tells us that, look, vote for a member of parliament from the ruling party so that development should come to your doorstep. But we've had a lot of examples where members of parliament from the ruling party are coming from, and there's little development. An example, like the caller said, Wiseman said, there's a little development in Kabwe, though maybe the member of parliament would disagree with him, but this is what the people that are feeling the development are saying, that look, we don't feel this development that they're talking about. And so I'm in between a hard rock and a hard place. All right? The president says, look, votereni uyu, because development ya raisa, abantu wamchipandisha walianda ta without development kun. So who should we believe? One principle that I think we should fundamentally know is that politicians are liars. All right? If we're going to rely on politicians to change our lives, I don't think our lives will be changed. I think we've been having politicians from inception. No politician has changed our lives. If we're going to be, even if we had your president, Muvi, doctor, whoever.
Let's get
Dr. Mwamba, if he became president of this country, yes, there are a lot of things that are promised and they are manifested, but to be honest with you, there's no politician that can change things to the expectation of the people. All we've had how many politicians in this country, even in the states.
Gentlemen, let's talk about, I know, Munzia Andrews talked about President Chakwera. I was checking one of the groups, WhatsApp groups. People are also praising Chakwera to say this is the hallmark of a great leader, taking action and not tolerating nonsense. But there's just someone who changed the discussion, say, don't praise this man. He has failed in Malawi because he has employed his relatives, he has employed his wife in government, and his sons and grandchildren are working in government, so there's nothing that he has done. People now trying to downplay even the good that that this man has done by bringing in his gray areas, or because he has also, or is found wanting in one way, so he shouldn't even talk about firing people and saying, if the finger will point at you, then you're gone. Because he has got his own skeletons.
I think the praise is for this particular act.
And people are saying you shouldn't even get the praises on this particular act.
Like Andrew has said, people have the rights to their own opinion.
And you respect them.
But
you should.
I do respect them. But honestly, you need to give credit where it's due. He may have brought in all those people, and when I say that, we mean family that are now working for government. In this particular instance where COVID-19 funds were misappropriated and now someone has to be punished for it, and we've seen him punishing the responsible person, we need to give praise to that. Yes, we can condemn. He's not going to do everything right.
To be honest, for me,
he's not going to do everything right.
The wrong things that Chakwera has done outweigh the little good thing that he's done. The
So
wrong things outweigh. The wrong things are here, the good things are here, and that's the reason why many Malawans, even when we're uploading, are saying, we don't know what things are going on in Malawi. We've spoken about him appointing his relatives to positions of authority. That is true. All right, he's been a man that has been issuing statements, but little that have been. I'm praying this time around that even the sacking of this minister, we'll see that he's been sacked indeed.
We'll be back tomorrow.
It could be.
We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, with discussing with politicians. Even if time was gone, they'll still want to talk. But to join us again at 15 with the elections watch. My name is Kelvin Tabola.
In fact, tonight we have Mbototo.
Tonight we have Sula Kola Pepper, Chalo Chama Christiani.
Maskap at 20.